Welcome to Yehoshua's Daf Yomi Shiur, where the Daf continues daily until the complete revelation of Mashiach ben David, Messiah, the son of David. Today we'll be studying Tractate Chullin, page 118. Starting with 118a, top of the page. The words Yachol Hanugia Keneged Basar Mechorav Lo, Yehi Tameh, Talmud Lomar Yitma. One might have thought that only one who touches the flesh of the carcass becomes impure, but one who touches the external side of the hide of the carcass that is aligned with the flesh but does not touch the flesh itself does not become impure. Therefore the verse states, one who touches its carcass shall be impure until the evening. Leviticus 11:39. It is derived from the term shall be impure that even one who touches the hide in this manner becomes impure. Maika Amar Rava Amri La Kedi Chasori Mechsra Yatani Benivlasa Lo Beor She'ain Alav Kazayas Basar Beor Mashlimo Lechazayas. The Gemara asks, what is the Braita saying? The first clause of the Braita teaches that the hide does not impart impurity of a carcass, while the latter clause teaches that one who touches the hide does become impure with the impurity of a carcass. Rava said, and some say it is unattributed, the Braita is incomplete, and this is what it is teaching. The term its carcass teaches that one who touches the flesh of a carcass becomes impure, but one who touches the hide of a carcass upon which there is not an olive bulk of flesh does not become impure. And even if the volume of the hide together with the flesh adds up to an olive bulk, the hide does not join together with the flesh to constitute the measure of an olive bulk required to impart impurity of an animal carcass. Yachol shani motzi'af or sheyesh alav gazayis basal hanugia keneged basal me'achor v'yachol lo yehi tameh afilu ma'aseh yad nami lo avid. One might have thought that I remove from the category of impurity of a carcass even a hide upon which there is an olive bulk of flesh with regard to one who touches the external side of the hide of the carcass that is aligned with the flesh but does not touch the flesh itself. One might have thought that he does not become impure in such a case, and that the hide in this case does not even constitute a handle of the flesh, which would render one who touches it impure as though he touched the flesh itself. Talmud Lomar Yitma. Therefore the verse states, shall be impure, from which it is derived that even though an appendage that serves as protection for the flesh does not join together with the flesh to constitute the measure of an olive bulk required to impart impurity of animal carcasses, it is considered a handle of the flesh which does impart impurity. Therefore, if there is an olive bulk of flesh attached to the hide, one who touches the outside of the hide becomes impure, even if he did not touch the flesh. The Gemara discusses the transmission of impurity of food with regard to accessories that serve as a handle and that provide protection. We learned in a Mishnah there, in Oktzin 1:1, with regard to any appendage that serves as a handle, meaning a part that one holds while eating the food but does not provide protection, the attached food becomes impure if the handle comes into contact with a source of impurity, and the handle transmits impurity from the attached food to other foods that come into contact with the handle. But the handle does not join together with the food to constitute the requisite measure to impart impurity. Shomer ve'afalpi she'eno yad tameh u'mitameh u'mitztaref lo yad lo shomer lo tameh lo mitameh. With regard to any appendage that provides protection, even if it does not serve as a handle. The attached food becomes impure if the protection comes into contact with an impure item, and the protection imparts impurity, and it also joins together with the food to constitute the requisite measure to impart impurity. With regard to an appendage that does not serve as a handle nor as protection, the attached food does not become impure if the appendage comes into contact with a source of impurity, nor does the appendage impart impurity. In addition, it does not join together with the food to constitute the requisite measure to impart impurity. Yados hecha kasivi dichsiv v'chitain mayim al zera v'nafal minivosam alav tamehu lachem. Lachem lechol shibitzarcheichem l'ravos es hayados. The Gemara asks, where is this halacha that handles are susceptible to an impart impurity written? The Gemara answers, as it is written with regard to the impurity of food, but if water is put on the seed and any of the carcass falls on it, it is impure for you. Leviticus 11:38. It is derived from the term for you that any part needed for your use of the food is susceptible to impurity and imparts impurity, including the handles that facilitate the consumption of the food. And furthermore, it is written with regard to the impurity of the carcass, and if any animal which is for you to consume dies, one who touches his carcass shall be impure until the evening. Leviticus 11:39. The term for you indicates that any part needed for your use of the carcass imparts impurity, including the handles. One who touches the handle of an item that is impure with impurity of a carcass becomes impure as though he touched the carcass itself. These two verses teach that a handle transmits impurity both with regard to importing impurity into the attached food and with regard to exporting impurity from the attached food. Shomer lahachnis uleotzi l'tzorich kraka v'chomer miyad ate umiyad uma yad she'eno migina mechneses uetzia shomer l'choshchin. A verse is not needed to derive that protection let me see here. Second. Okay. We gotta go. It's a big daf. Big amud. Okay. The more asks. Hold on. But saying that a handle. Where were we? Kind of lost the place. 1 second here. Mm-hmm. 1 second here. Put it on pause. Second. Gotta put it on pause here. Okay, so I lost the place, so I'm going to go back, and I hope it's going back to a certain part, and if it's not, then I want to make sure that I don't skip anything. A verse is not needed to derive. Let's go back, you know what? Let's go back to... Let's go back to the beginning.